What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Bytes podcast. This is episode 17. We're not doing a gag intro anymore because we until we get to episode 20, we're sticking with these straight from the hip ones. So appreciate you guys coming in and returning to listen. And if this is your first time, thank you for joining us. We have the podcast on YouTube, and if you're on YouTube, thank you for being on YouTube. But we'd like to let you know that we're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just in case, if you just want to listen to two dudes yap on the go.
Yes,
If
sir.
you happen to be on any of these platforms, please give us a thumbs up on YouTube or 5 stars on Spotify or Apple. This helps us grow and find new listeners. So maybe I'm going to be rambling for the next hour, but for this section, without any more rambling, I'd like to pass it over to my man Hedy, who is the guy that has the bigger beard of this podcast. How's it going, man?
What's good? We got a fun, well, not a huge docket today, but we're going to be talking about some interesting comments from Saints Row. Balatro comes up again, Xbox UI, as well as some possible GTA 6 stuff. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah. Oh, okay. More buzzwords. Trump 2020, Elon, Tesla down, egg prices,
Controversial.
Seed oils, beef tallow. Okay, there we go. We got it.
There we go. All right. Roll the intro.
Okay, why are we taking so long? The intro's actually rolling right now.
Yeah,
we like pause for a good 3 seconds. Like, oh yeah, all right, let's.
Well, I do that for the editing, but you know, But how was your week? What'd you do this week? Anything interesting? Anything fun?
Man, dude, right? Okay, we were supposed to record a bit earlier. I knocked out because I've just been tired. I haven't been getting the best sleep.
All good.
Work has been. I've been stressed a bit thin. But right before we recorded the podcast, I feel like I have to say this because you sound a bit concerned. So he was about to hit record, and then I just hit the oh my god. He's like, everything okay? I was like, nah, dude, just give me a second. I go on mute and I need to handle what I need to do. What was I doing? My cat, his name is Frodo, named after the freaking hobbits of Lord of the Rings. Right? Well, we only have 3 cats. Anyways, this is a sub story. Anyways, so Frodo jumps on my lap, and then I'm like petting him. I was like, all right, bro, like let me get him situated so he doesn't meow through the rest of the episode like he's done in the past. And all of a sudden, I get a mad whiff of something. I was like, is this dude just straight farting right now?
Oh no.
No, I look over. I swear to God, there's a freaking chocolate chip size poop just hanging there.
Dingleberry.
Yeah, bro. No, and it was like a fresh one too, man. Like I don't know. This might be a TMI for folks, but I just had to pick the man up, take him to the bathroom, and just give him put him on the bidet, bro. That's just clean yourself. Not really, but
does he not clean himself? Is he old enough to where
he does? He does clean himself. I think it's just that I think maybe man needs Metamucil or something. Like he needs to solidify the BMs, the bowel movements. That's the problem.
Yeah, my cat, what happens is sometimes after he poops, he comes and wants to sit on my lap, but then he smells really bad because he hasn't yet cleaned himself, but he will.
Yeah.
And I'm get away, you nasty boy. So cats just they just want to share, they just want us to experience what it's like to be a cat. Which I respect.
I think also the problem is all the time he steals food. He'll just if I cook anything chicken, bro, man's all over the freaking cutting board and pans and all this stuff.
So you can't leave it alone for a second?
No, you have to be strategic. You have to cover it or you have to put a lot of garlic or something in it. So then he's like, I never mind. Maybe he's a vampire.
Your cat doesn't like flavor? Yeah. My cat doesn't do that, thankfully, but he does it with, the only thing he does it with is salmon. And we forgot he did it with salmon. We had my in-laws over and we prepared a bunch of bagels and stuff and lox bagels, and we put the salmon on the side so they could assemble it themselves. And we step away, we come back, he's on the table I was like, hey, what are you doing over here?
No. Yeah.
But still had plenty, so it was chill.
Nice.
It's in their nature,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But aside from cleaning the cats, just playing Split Fiction. I think we're on the last or so chapter.
Oh wow.
But, it's been good. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. How you liking it? Would you say it's worth the 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 people are giving it?
like the only critique I'll have on the game is that like the story writing is not the strongest aspect.
Mm.
Even in It Takes Two, it was not like some of it's kind of predictable and you can kind of see things coming, but it's a vehicle for moving the game forward. Like I think primarily this is a gameplay first kind of game, and that's the appeal for it. The story is good enough to kind of get along. It's not it's not like super deep characters like Last of Us or God of War, where there's like you have someone with complex history,
Yeah.
and like he has layers that kind of come off over time. Some of the stuff is like, oh, you can see, okay, well, this person probably has this, that person has probably this, and then like, okay, it moves along. It's fun though. I still maybe like It Takes Two a bit more just because
Interesting.
it does I don't know if it was just like Dr. Hakim, the book that always comes up, that was just interesting to see. But like this one is like they I like how they sprinkle in the sub stories and things like that. So
what I've heard here is that this one is more so the story isn't as great, but the gameplay is way better than It Takes Two from what I'm seeing. I haven't gotten that far into it, so I can't say.
Some
but
unique boss battles, yeah.
Yeah. Overall though, you're saying it's like worth a buy.
It's
if you
good.
have someone to play
I
with?
would say 9. I would say 9 out of 10.
Interesting. Would you pay full price for it?
I already did.
No, but I'm saying, like, would you tell other people to?
Yeah, man.
Yeah?
Otherwise, I'd be a hypocrite.
Mm-hmm. Well, I pay full price for games, and I'm like, don't do that. You know, like I pay full price for Starfield.
Only I can.
Oh, sorry. Apologies.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna tell people.
Yeah. No, you don't buy it. Only I can buy it. In fact, let me buy it for you.
Yeah.
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 Fair enough. Nice. Okay. Nothing else. You didn't watch anything and you play anything. Severance finale came out. I didn't see it, but.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was gonna. Oh, we should have buzzword that in the intro, but yeah, it's. I mean, I watched it yesterday.
How do you think it ends? Do you think it ends pretty strong, or do you think you weren't a fan of the ending?
It's better than the last 2 episodes, because there's 2 episodes that were I think 8 and 9 or 7 and 8 or something like that. Like they were kind of they weren't on par with the other episodes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but this one kind of is good, but actually I'm not gonna say anything. It's good.
Okay. Nice.
It's
Yeah, nice. I'm definitely gonna catch up to it soon. Just have not had time, unfortunately. But that's life. That's life, son. Okay, so that's your week.
Yeah.
Nice.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
What about you? Yeah, what you been getting into?
What have I been getting into? So this is my first week with the new graphics card, so I was trying to stress test it, trying to see what was fun to run, all that stuff. Been running random games like Cyberpunk. I ran Shadow of War actually. Let me go down my list here. Cyberpunk, Shadow of War, Wilds, Finals, Satisfactory, Control. Those are the main ones that I was rotating through anyways. But it runs pretty well. It makes games look great. Obviously, that's the whole point. I'm glad it does because paid for it, all that stuff. I will say that there are some games where having this really nice graphics card is night and day difference. Monster Hunter Wilds is one of them. Even though it's not the best optimization right now, it still looks incredible with some tweaking. And the game that I'm currently glad that I reinstalled to play on this, Ghost of Tsushima. Oh my god, this game looks incredible, and it looked good the first time I played it on my 3070, but on this, dude, fantastic. I'm playing New Game Plus. I'm doing the minimal HUD and everything, just really experiencing it. Such a good game, dude. I might play through the entire thing again just because it's so fun. And then I'm
surprised you are not gonna play Assassin's Creed Shadows, bro. That's the newer version of. No,
yeah, I'll be honest. I thought about it, but then I saw some reviews, and most of the people that I whose reviews that I usually align with, they're hey, it's more of the same as Assassin's Creed. So if you're not a fan of the formula, don't pick it up. So it's all right, I'm not gonna spend the money. I'm gonna see if I can get my fix on Ghost of Tsushima type thing. But that's me.
Well, I mean, technically, it's my turn to buy the next family game.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, just playing Monster Hunter. I've been playing Split Fiction. I'm playing a lot of Doom Eternal as well, just to kind of get that out of my system before Dark Ages comes out. Monster Hunter is great. I'm in like the end game now. I'm just doing high rank missions and all that stuff, so I'm really enjoying it. Doom Eternal is really fun. I forgot how much I really enjoy it, and I'm liking it a lot more this time around. Split Fiction is I'm playing it, and we only just finished the first like cyber level, and we just got into the fantasy one, where you turn into a fairy and turn into like whatever. It's pretty cool. I'm really liking it a lot. The gameplay is kind of tough in some parts, honestly. Like, I'm very surprised how difficult that first like encounter was, if that makes sense. That first like level of like some of the bosses and some of the things they have you doing, but it's still really enjoyable. I'm still really liking it.
The puzzles require a bit more timing, which is kind of nice.
Good.
Like, because I feel like some of this stuff was a bit too easy, but like it's good that there's like some light challenges. It's like it's not the Dark Souls of gaming or something. So, but it's definitely like I've died a couple times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm dying a couple times. I had to, I'm playing with my wife, and there's some parts where we're both struggling, and there's some parts where I struggle more than her, and there's some parts where she struggles more than me. And she's like, both like riff on it. She's like, what are you doing? Huh?
Yep.
I'm also playing Outer Wilds again. I talked about this before, but really enjoying it. I'm at a point where I've forgotten some of the solutions to the puzzle, so having to go and search for that and figure that out is really nice. And then I played, so I told you last week I bought Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I wanted to try it out, and your thing was like, dude, that's some jank, and I was like, yeah, but I want to try it out and see. You know, the kind of game where you like open it up and you touch it and you're like no thanks,
Yeah.
So that's what happened here. I downloaded the game, played it for like a good hour, and the entire hour I was like, I hate how this controls, and I hate like how the game presents information to you and all. Like, I'm not making a judgment call on the game being good or bad. I'm just saying, for my personal taste, I was like, I do not enjoy this. I feel repulsed touching these controls, honestly. So refunded that, and that was a very short-lived game experience, to be honest.
I feel like the issue is like some of the stuff, like one, like it did not release in the best, maybe like for its time, it was still kind of like a bit iffy of a game, but like it, on top of that, it did not age well, so it's I don't know, it's probably just, it does not have the best thing going for it.
But yeah, so at the end of the day, it's not a bad game, just not for me. That's as simple as it gets. And then I think that was my week. I don't think I watched anything or did anything else of note. Ramadan's been very busy.
He just stares at a wall when he eats.
No, literally. Yeah, actually, yeah. For Sahur, bro, I'm zoning out. I'm not paying attention to anything. I'm just like feeling it.
Yeah.
But let's get into the news then. So, first thing that I thought was interesting, essentially, let me pull up this. According to Games Radar, Saber Interactive CEO says Saints Row had to die because the games were too expensive. Quote, the days of throwing money at games other than GTAs of the world are over. Now, specifically, when you hear that, you're like, oh, well, like, duh, like, like, don't throw money at dumb games. But his quote's a little bit more nuanced, to where he was interviewed by, let me see here, by Stephen Totillo for GameFile, and said that, he basically said that where is this guy's name here? Matthew Karch, who's the Saber Interactive representative, basically said the Saints Row team is gone, and then he explained his assumptions onto why the series isn't likely to get a new installment anytime soon. He said, quote, they were so expensive for what they were. They didn't know what they were building, and they didn't have any real direction. It couldn't last. And so who's going to fund them for the next game after a disaster? He said also that after that disaster, he also said that Saints Row 2022 reboot did not meet full expectations and left the fan base particularly polarized. And he also said that it would be nice in an ideal world for everyone to have a job. But games with 9-figure budgets are making 8-figure revenue and 8 figures of revenue, and that's dooming a lot of developers. The days of throwing money at games other than maybe GTAs of the world is over. It's over. The business needs to mature. If it doesn't, the whole business is in trouble. Unfortunately, that means layoffs. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this sounds to me a bit more like viewing gaming from like the business lens. Obviously, I mean, there's a lot of money involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the idea that game creation is solely like you create a game to build a brand, and then now the question is like, how do you sustain the brand? How do you build on top of it? How can you iterative release? How can you release side content? Like it's more about
like trying to squeeze all the blood from a stone type thing. Exactly,
yeah. Because like I feel like back in the day, you didn't see franchises like that we have today. Like granted, between PS2 and PS3, there wasn't a lot of room for games to get rebooted or things like that, right?
Right.
But it was more about like, oh, what can work. And I think in the past you had people that were kind of passionate and that would work on, I don't want to say unique ideas, but like they would work something that like they can see the vision end to end, right? Like you have a game like Sly Cooper or Jack and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank, we're like, oh, we kind of know what this game is going to be, and we're like, we have a good feeling for it, like same to the quote saying, oh, like the game needs to
it knows what it's going to be.
Foundation. Yeah, right. Yeah. But then when now you're going to get to a point where like these studios have been open for such a long time that some of the founders have left, some of the key designers have left, and then like it's like the ship of Theseus. It's like, okay, now someone knows the core of they're like, oh, here's Saints Row. At one point, Saints Row was like a GTA clone. Then it turned into this like wacky superhero parody thing, and then now they try to reboot it back into a gangster thing, and it's like like granted, Saints Row specifically had like an identity crisis, and I think what's happening is like in other games is they're like trying to emulate a lot and not like make something that's like unique to I don't unique such a I hate that word, like, but not make something that leans on like the talent of like specific teams, right? So, and I think that's probably kind of maybe what he's trying to say, where he's like, oh, like Saints Row specifically, like, this has an identity crisis, and people confused with it, we're confused with it, so it's like, why dump money in there?
Right. And I would also agree. I think a counterpoint also that could be, not counterpoint, but a substitute point that also could be made is that like people are trying to, like you said earlier, they're trying to squeeze blood from a stone. They're saying, okay, Saints Row, what can we get out of it? Battle Pass, what can we do? Like Saints Row 5 has to exist. It's like, does it really? Like, why does Saints Row 5 have to exist? Why not take that same team and have them make something else? Like they're good at some things, so why not have them explore? And like, okay, the example I like to use is like Persona and Atlas, right? Atlas is very good at making Persona games. However, they also are good, like they're good at making Persona games, but the core underlying thing of that is not, oh, it's because it's Persona is successful. The core underlying thing about it is, oh, because it's a good game with good mechanics, well thought out ideas. They know. Okay, sorry. Actually, you know what? Even better example, Yakuza, right? The Yakuza team is really good at making Yakuza games. So much so that the jump from Yakuza 6 to 7, it was one of those things where 6 came out, people were like, okay, like it's not bad, but it's not like the most amazing thing. And then it came out that, hey, we're actually jumping to an RPG system. People were like, oh, what the heck? This is really strange. But they bought in because they know that the Yakuza team knows how to make good games. Therefore, let's see what they come up with, Yeah, the brand was still attached, but people were still excited about the idea, Yeah. So same thing here. Like, why push for a Saints Row clone again instead of having the same team do something else? Like, I booted up what's it called? Shadow of War this past week, and I was like, oh man, like this feels very unique in that it is a straight up like it feels like a Batman game, but with a different theme on it. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually really fun because, okay, this team is good at this kind of combat. How can they expand on it? Okay, well, they expand on it with these abilities, the Nemesis system, and things like that. So this team is allowed to expand and explore and create something that may not be brand friendly, or rather brand recognizable. I mean, I'm saying Lord of the Rings, but you get the idea. Like, you know, so things like that. The layouts part of it obviously sucks, but I mean, it's also not the devs' fault that these decisions are being made, so I do feel bad for them, you know?
Yeah, it's like I think some of the stuff hasn't gotten sustainable. Like I think there needs to be like, I mean, that's what's happening right now, is that like there's sort of like this like readjustment period, because because before there used to be like blank checks, or it seems like it used to be just blank checks for anything gaming related, because it's like, oh, you're expanding the medium or IP forward. Like there's like, it's the same reason why like it's probably gonna fail the Game of Thrones game. It's like they're just like, hey, we have like how do you do like, is it vertical or I guess a vertical integration, where it's like you take the IP and then you move it into different pockets. It's like that's why with every movie they make like toys for it. Like, which is crazy because like, bro, this is a PG-13 movie. 13-year-olds aren't playing with these toys, but like why is there a why is there a Master Chief action figure in the Target toy section when Master Chief is a freaking M-rated, or Halo's an M-rated game? But because they're just like, well, people are gonna play it, and we need to have this like market integration, export, whatever, you know. It's like some things just sounds way too businessy. And they just need to get back to like just making games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's used as like a lever for, or it's used as a box of like money generation, but that's not. But that doesn't mean the game is gonna be good. So. Yeah,
that makes sense. I'm curious to see what this means for like how this company is going to develop new games, and like what they're gonna tackle next and things like that. Because it's also I think a big part of it is like CEOs are like, oh, this will be a good idea. It's like, no, dude, like it's not. Like legitimately it's not a good idea, but no one can convince them otherwise, you know. So we're kind of stuck in that limbo of like, it's not a good idea, but they think it's a good idea, and then when it fails, they're like, oh, well, you know, I'm not gonna take a pay cut. Why would I? That's crazy. It's not my fault that this flopped, when, you know, in reality it is. So but exactly, yeah, very cool, like nuanced take. I really like where that went, to be honest. But what I don't like where this is going is Texas's new proposal for basically this Texas bill could make it the headline is new Texas bill could make incredibly popular anime and video game titles illegal. A Texas bill that was unanimously passed by state senators will allow that if it gets instated. Bro, I can't read. Oh my god. Okay.
You want me to do it for you?
Yeah, please. I don't know what's going on.
A Texas bill that was unanimously passed by the state senators will, if it gets instated into actual law, will criminalize up any possession, depict any material depicting a minor in quote unquote obscene ways. Though Senate Bill 20 is structured in a way, I don't know why I'm in freaking newscaster mode, but sorry.
No, it's okay. Go for it. You're killing it.
Basically, the point of the bill is that it was to kind of combat like the usages of AI to create certain, you know, material created in a cartoony fashion.
Yes.
So the idea behind it is like, I think the intention is, yo, there's some weird looking dudes that are kind of like Drake that wanna do these like, you know,
they're making obscene things with AI involving minors, and on that premise, absolutely agree. Ban that. Get rid of that. That whole thing is like really strange. Obviously, like, you know, people are freaks. Get rid of them. The part that people are concerned about specifically in the video game and anime space is that, like, let me see here. That said, the activities described by Section 43.21A1B are by design up to interpretation. Though they describe the standard acts that would be considered deplorable by most, the definition of quote-unquote obscene material ends with this line. material or performance that, taken as a whole, lacks serious literary, artistic, political, and scientific value. So the question becomes, how do you determine what that is? Obviously the whole idea of like minors being in games, things like that, you have to approach that subject with care and caution. And if anything, I'm more of a person who's like, hey, like if you have to avoid it, then avoid it completely if you're not able to do it in the correct way. Obviously, you know, what's happening here is that people are worried that things like Persona, which feature kids in high school in Japan, might get banned, or anime with the same kind of character subject, because technically speaking, right, like what if a Texas lawmaker is to look at that and says, oh, that's kind of weird that these kids are shooting themselves in the head to activate their powers, like that's obscene, get rid of it. Or the fact that there's like, you know, relationships in the game, or, you know, things like that. So it's the ambiguity, I think, that's concerning most people, which I would tend to agree with. At the same time, though, it is dealing with like an area that's like a little gray, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like they have to have some wiggle room and some laws so that like it applies. But like the intention of this is definitely like, oh, like AI is kind of weird, right? Like you go on, bro, freaking you go to Twitter, Gronk version 3 has an 18 plus mode. Why are you talking to freaking AI? So and definitely this is one of those things where like it's like not the thing about minors, but specifically people are horny, and when it comes to AI, people are gonna try to do anything. Like, yo, give me a picture of Batman doing this or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think intent is there to kind of, hey, let's protect, like make sure that like this isn't being used to like depict minors, which I mean, like you said, is good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we'll see how it gets applied. Texas is a bit interesting with how like I guess some stances on things are. So I don't know if they're just gonna come back, because I feel like Texas would be a country of like Mortal Kombat's the reason why there's school shootings. So if some of the lawmakers and like senators and like people of power in Texas are kind of hold that belief, then maybe they can see that like, okay, you need to remove any form of children in these situations, which I guess like just like do the good old, oh, this is a 3,000-year-old dragon thing, which is weird in itself.
I think No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, just so that one liner, if folks don't know, there's a whole thing about in some animes they're like, no, this person's not 16, she's
10,000 years old or whatever.
Yeah, she's a dragon that just transforms, and that's her disguise.
Yeah,
it's a 10,000-year-old dragon, dude.
Yeah, I think the bigger thing, I think the way that this law could be better, I guess, better like written, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not a politician, but I think if it focused on specifically the AI stuff of it, because that's the biggest concern. Obviously, everything else is pretty bad if it's, you know, not done properly. But I think with this thing what this law is trying to prevent, I think if they focused in on it being AI specific, then that would help. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But again, we'll see where this goes. I don't know if it's going to ban anything from Texas. It also might be a thing of simple like, oh, like, what if localization wise they just change it for America, where in America, instead of characters being like, you know, 17, 16, they're 18, and like they just leave it at that, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know if it's a simple fix like that. I honestly don't know, but this is a very interesting developing story that I'm very curious to see how this is going to work. But
yeah, I mean, it could just be like, hey, bump the number up.
Yeah, but we'll see. Just like we'll see how this God of War 2 this God of War show will be, because allegedly, actually I did not write down the time. I need to keep writing down the time.
Bro, it's fine, whatever, bro. Yo, they're listening to the podcast. Why are they skipping around?
Listen, bro, timestamps is good for the user. You
sit here and you're gonna sit here and listen.
True.
It's gonna be a surprise. Like why? Like, what's the point of having this kind of conversation if they know what we're gonna say? Well, if you like, I'm gonna say right here. I'm gonna say Cheetos Puffs. Yeah, y'all didn't know I was gonna say that. That's not in the docket. That's not in the description.
So back to the regular sort of programming. Essentially, so God of War 2 Nah, why do I keep saying 2? God of War, there's a show coming out, and it was confirmed by the showrunner, Ronald D. Moore, that there are 2 seasons greenlit on Amazon, and you can find this on Katie Sackhoff. It's like a podcast type show on YouTube, and I assume it's on other things as well. It's on Spotify. But essentially, she interviewed the showrunner for God of War, and he confirmed, yes, there are 2 seasons. Which is good. I'm not opposed to it. I do think a story like this can be told in 2 seasons. Again, I think this brings up the argument of, does this content need to be adapted for a show? Personally, I don't think so, but you know, it's happening, so we'll see where it goes. And then the showrunner said also, he tried to play the games, but stopped when he couldn't figure out modern controllers. I'm not a gamer, is what he said. So
yeah, bro,
I don't know.
Like, I mean, like, do you have to be a chef to run a restaurant? Okay, that sounded way too deep. No, I take it back, because
no, but that's a good question. I mean, do you?
But there's parts of like the game that you want to be able to capture that, like, I because like, I don't know, like, did I was gonna bring up Fallout, but like, they literally had Todd Howard, which I feel like Fallout was a phenomenal, like, I think, to me, the best video game adaptation, because Last of Us is like way too literal, which I'm worried that like is gonna happen with this show, where they're gonna like try to just like take the story beats and just like, oh well, like, I watched the walkthrough of this game, like, well, he said that, say it here. They're on the boat, they're going to this thing, they're going to Idrisil, they're doing this, like, I feel like they're gonna like streamline it a bit too much, because like maybe the showrunner is missing context, and like the showrunner is usually the guy that's like, I think is like I don't know the exact role, but I would assume it's like the role between the cinematographer, the director, and like who's like massaging the situation to kind of to get what they want. So it's, I mean, I actually, no, let's do a live check. What did Mr. Moore do? Let's see, pull up his history. Let's put up the IMDb, bro. We're gonna fraud check this guy.
Let's see.
Let's do this. All right, Robert D. Moore. Why? Let's see.
Monkey D. Luffy, bro.
Battlestar Galactica. Okay, a couple seasons of that. Electric Dreams, For Sheep. Is that the one that's is that the one on Amazon that's like their knockoff Black Mirror?
Which one? What was this one? Sorry.
Electric Dreams.
I do not know.
Sci-fi anthology CG. Yeah, I think that was like Amazon's.
Wait, are you looking at Robert D. Moore or Ronald D. Moore? This is Ronald D. Moore, not Robert.
Oh, Ronald, bro. Whatever, bro. I just freaking Ronald McDonald.
Oh, he did Mission Impossible 2. His stuff is kind of all over the place. It's a lot of sci-fi stuff, so I don't know like what.
Bro, yeah, what's this dude doing? Like, sci-fi man doing in freaking Norse mythology, bro.
Yeah.
He's gonna put Kratos in space.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, on one hand, he could make something really good, and if he knows the story beats, then that might be what he needs to know. Like, I don't think you have to play the game physically to understand the story, but I think you're at an advantage because you get to feel what the player feels, and you get to like understand what it means to be in the shoes of Kratos. But you could technically just watch like a cutscene movie and get all the story beats, you know?
Yeah, fair.
So,
I mean, it's
yeah. So we'll see. I don't know.
To his credit, a lot of his stuff is like a lot of his stuff is around like hovers around like mid 8s to high 7s. He has like 1 or 2 stinkers, but like, I mean, he seems like he knows what he's doing.
Yep. So I'm not gonna judge it before it even comes out, but I do think that this quote is not a good look, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like knowing who your audience is, people are gonna be upset. So I think maybe refraining from something like that is probably the move.
I mean, also if he does surround himself with people that know,
that's also true.
Like,
Yeah.
give him, you don't know the entourage someone guy, you know. So it's like Ted Lasso. Why are you gonna get this guy to coach soccer? But you know, actually, just watch the show. I'm not gonna say anything.
Fair enough. Yeah, so we'll see how this story plays out. I'll probably watch the show when it comes out, but I'm curious to see what happens. Just like I am very curious to see what is going to happen with this new Ark DLC. So according to PC Gamer, new Ark DLC gets AI generator trailers so awful that the original developers washing its hands of the whole thing, and fans are in uproar. This is disgusting and you should be ashamed, which is crazy. So essentially, to like set context, Ark Survival Ascended is a full-on 2023 like remake of the original Ark Survival Evolved, and is developed by the creator studio Wildcard. Ark Survival Evolved is the original 2017 game, but now it's being handled by US-based Snail Games. And this, did you look at this trailer?
Dude, they had the TikTok audio.
That's what I'm saying. They had the TikTok audio guy. They had like all that stuff. It's crazy. It's insane how much they just leaned into AI.
Because part of it is like the whole point of the game or of trailers is to be like, yo, this is what you're gonna get. Like there's a difference between like CGI, right? Where like like you have some trailers that are CGI, but like they're using like art styles and assets that would be part of the full game. It just won't look as nicely rendered. But this is like you're getting whole art styles that can't even be, like, most likely won't be even be in the game. So what are you even showing? So I don't know.
Yeah, dude, it's insane. It's so crazy that like this was allowed to pass and things like that. It also doesn't spell like good fortune for this game, because it's like, if they're willing to cut corners on the trailer, like what does that mean for the actual release of the game? What does it mean for like like the creatives involved in the process? It's just not it's not a good look, in my opinion.
Yeah, because like, maybe they just put all their money into the development. Come on, man. So maybe that's what they were doing.
Yeah, that could be it. In case you need to know, this podcast official stance on AI for creative purposes, it's terrible. Don't do it. But
yeah, I mean, I think Allen Iverson is a pretty good guy.
You know him personally? He hangs out with you all the time?
I don't know, bro. He was good at basketball.
Tune in next week for our special podcast guest, Allen Iverson.
No.
Yeah. So, gross story, but it is what it is.
But it was crazy. Like I was watching this, I was like, okay, there's AI like video, but then when the AI TikTok voice kind of came in like this, I was like, did they really just? I feel like they were recorded a TikTok, did text to speech, and then just like stole the audio and then threw it in here. Because like, dude, there's like so many text to speech voices that you could have done that sound way better.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was just specifically like it was like their hype. Like they were like, let's just get the one that's like popular on TikTok right now that people use, talking about.
They literally just said like free AI voice, and they just chose that one.
Yeah. Like if you're on TikTok or on Reels and you've heard like someone talking about a good kitty or evil kitty or I was shot 77 times or something. That voice, man, I don't know how to explain it except for that.
Yeah. Or do it like the Finals voice cover. Like Finals uses AI voice announcers, but it's like done in a way where it's like a little bit more human than anything. So
yeah,
maybe they could have softened the blow, but I doubt it at this point.
Yeah, the Finals AI stuff I feel like it was a bit blown out of water, because like if I'm not mistaken, like they worked with people to kind of get things, and they like say like very hyper specific things, so it feels like you're tapped into the game. Or this one was just like very lazy. So
yep. Yeah. Shame on them. Shame. But they're not gonna win Game of the Year award anytime soon. I'll tell you what. But you know what did? My goat Balatro. So this past week, essentially, there was a Games Developers Choice Awards, so this is when the devs vote for it and they pick, and I have the list of the things that we can talk about. We can go through some of them. I will start from the bottom up, and if we don't want to talk about it, we don't have to go through all of them. But best student game, Slot Waste, Wings Award, Consume Me, and Senmua's. I don't know what that world.
Bro, I
Okay.
don't even know. Some of
Yeah,
this
that's
stuff
fine.
is-
Okay. Excellence in
I don't
visual
know who
art
these
is
awards, bro.
Haunty. Which game is this? Oh yeah, this game. Okay. Haunty. Excellence in narrative, Caves of Cud or Cud. Excellence in design, Tactical Breach Wizards. This game I actually kind of want to buy and play. It looks kind of dope. Excellence in audio is Despilote. And those are the 2025 IGF awards. Next is Social Impact, Life is Strange Double Exposure. Best visual art, Black Myth Wukong. Not surprised. That game has a very high visual fidelity behind it. Best technology, Astrobot, which compared the other ones in this category were Black Myth Wukong, Helldivers 2, Senua Saga, and Tiny Glade. Tiny Glade is a beautiful looking game, but I actually agree with Astrobot winning this because of the everything that's going on with the controller and the game and all that stuff. Best narrative is Metaphor Refantasio, which I would agree. I think the other ones in this category, 1,000 Times Resist, Black Myth Wukong, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Mouthwashing were all pretty solid, but I think Metaphor told a really fantastic story.
I think Mouthwash is an interesting story. Have you watched?
Yeah, I've seen the story breakdown.
Okay, it's like non-linear storytelling about
a space crew.
Like, yeah. I think that's the best way to. I could without giving too much away. Yep.
Yeah. I do think that the story for it is cool. I don't know if it's like, oh, this is like the best thing in the world personally, but I also didn't play it, so my opinion is very severely diminished. So take that with a very huge grain of salt. And then the innovation award is Balatro. Makes sense. I do think so. There was another one nominated in this category, UFO 50. I think that's also a really good nomination, to be honest. It's really close, but I would say Balatro takes it just for the sheer creativity of like roguelike poker. You know, the idea of it is just really cool. Best design is Balatro. I don't know if I have anything bad to say about that. I think that makes sense, but it also what do they mean by best design? You know, is it visual, technical, whatever the case is? Best debut is Balatro. Best audio is Astrobot. And the game of the year for the 2025 GDC is Balatro, which, yeah, I would agree.
Best game of the year.
Other things in this one are Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Helldivers 2, Final Fantasy 7, Metaphor Refantasio.
Bro, you just sound like an addict, bro. I know.
Well, okay, so here's my logic, right? Bing, 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 whoop, 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 blink. I think that this winning game of the year at the Games Developer Conference makes a lot of sense, in a sense that, like, it's not because, like, I enjoy playing it, but I think it's, like, game recognized game. You know, like, I think game developers recognize, like, one guy made this. It's a very innovative idea. It's very unique. It's something that's brand new to the space, you know?
Yeah. That's true, because it is like there isn't really anything else like it.
Yeah, so that's the reason, right? That's why I kind of wanted to bring this up in the podcast, because I was like, okay, like, this is a very different, like, idea, you know? So that's why I think it's kind of cool that it won this category. But I think all the other ones also, like, pretty good and, like, pretty innovative, you know? Helldivers 2. I don't know if Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth needs to be in here, to be honest, because it's, like, pretty, you know, pretty aight, but...
Yeah. Have you seen someone was making it was like Balatro, but with chess?
I did see this, yes. I did see this.
What are your thoughts on it as Mr. Balatro himself?
I'm actually not a fan of chess like that, so I don't think I'm going to play it. I feel like chess is a little bit...
Oh, so you're a fan of poker?
Yeah, actually. I think chess, the thing with chess for me is that chess is a little bit too high in the level of complexity for me to truly enjoy the game. You know what I'm saying? But it looks cool. I don't know if I'll play it, but I think it's neat. What about you?
Yeah.
Are you gonna play it?
I mean, I always say, yo, bro, you're playing checkers, I'm playing chess. 100%. I do not know how to play chess. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You better learn.
I'm saying the phrase. Maybe this is one way to learn, right? Like,
Yeah.
where I go up against what's his name, Magnus Carlsen, and just bring out like my banana or whatever. You know how in Balatro you just
Yeah.
get all these like random objects.
Yeah.
Me with the Joker and all this stuff. So yeah.
He's like, oh my god, this guy knows the hidden tech. You know.
Yeah.
But cool. Yeah, I'm happy it won. I think now I can rest easily without being like, oh, Balatro should have won, because they won something, and that's what matters, you know. Not the creative achievement; it's the fact that you won something. But yeah, so that leads us to the next story that we have going on, which is Microsoft briefly posted about a new Xbox UI app mock-up that includes Steam Games Filter. According to sources, Microsoft is working on an Xbox app update currently in early stages that shows every game installed on your PC, including Steam and EGS titles. This just goes on to that fact that you were talking about earlier about the...
See, you called me a madman. Huh?
Madman's a bit strong.
Y'all need to roll back that clip. Y'all were like, this guy is smoking copium. I remember specifically when we were talking about the handheld back in like 5 episodes ago. You were like, no, this is so stupid. Blah, 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 blah. This is not gonna happen. And where it's slowly realizing this is look, dude, if this is true, this is Xbox doing the Thor Ragnarok, where he's like, I can't defeat Hela. Okay, it's not really a spoiler. Who's watching MCU anyways?
Yeah.
Where Thor can't defeat Hela, and then he's like, well, let me just initiate Ragnarok. That will destroy me, but it will save our people. But then it'll put Sony in such a weird spot, because now Sony just looks like that they aren't involved, and they're just like, oh, you're still buying PlayStation. Like it's like and all they have is like these games, which ultimately come on PC, and then which you can end up playing them on your console, you know. So
yeah, I think this like aligns with what we were saying last year, or rather you were saying not last year, last week, where it's like they're trying to create this big ecosystem and they're just doing a generational shift. Hopefully it pans out for them. I don't know if I would use the app like that, but it's kind of cool conceptually, you know.
Yeah. Because the idea, I think, is like, hey, you can go to Steam to get your games. Maybe they're cheaper, but if you want to use our platform, if you want to stream games on your phone, okay, we have Steam Decks, but like, what if man, the Steam Deck is too bulky, or maybe it's like it's underpowered, and like you want to get a new version. Now you have to think, do I want to get the Xbox handheld, or do I want to get the next Steam Steam Deck, right?
Yeah.
So then like now there's like, okay, you're getting like the value proposition sounds so much heavier on the Xbox, because you're like, okay, if I get it on Xbox, I could do this, and then if I have Game Pass, then I can just stream it on my phone too, like in the places where it's like the Steam Deck is too heavy to bring. Like now it's like they're building a reason to be on Xbox versus just like, we just have games, right? Which, I mean, obviously that's important too, but like I think there's more to it. There's also another leak from like Windows Central that says essentially the new Xbox, it would be using a flavor of like Windows 32, which I guess, which I'm like, this rumor sounds interesting, because basically Windows was like 32-bit versus 64-bit. I would have assumed it would be 64-bit, but like never mind. But the rumor is that like there would be building this to be like quote unquote PC box kind of way, right?
Yeah.
And one of the interesting things is like, okay, if they go down that route, how is like backwards compatibility going to be maintained, right?
Right.
They need to find a way how to like emulate the like Xbox One series that like and Series S and X stuff onto this new console. But like, I mean, hey, they are taking a deep look and seeing like what makes a platform unique, right? Like, not to discredit like the engineering that goes on to like iterative shifts, like between like the 4 and the 5, but this one feels like very, like, if the rumors are true, again, these are all rumors, right? And granted, the mock-up that got posted, I don't know if it was posted by actual Microsoft. Because Loki, the screenshot looks weird. The screenshot looks like some clip art stuff a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
well, it's conceptual, right? That's usually how this stuff goes when you're making things like this. Like, you usually just throw text on there and worry about formatting and stuff later. So
yeah. Oh, okay. So this is the Xbox app. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So fair.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm,
But it's also weird because like they have like the Xbox consoles there. Like why would the console know about anything about? Anyways, that's a side point. Anyways.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair
But
enough.
what possibly you can play on the new Xbox. It's gonna be
What?
GTA 6. Okay.
No
So
way.
are you surprised you're reading the docket? Why we don't have to do this? It's not a play. So this is kind of like a nested like theory here, right? So Gameinformer, like one of the OGs in reporting news, if you went to GameStop and they sold you on the pro subscription, you also got this copy, like this magazine copy of Gameinformer. So the big coveted thing was that the cover story was the big industry scoop of the month, right? So in the past, I think like right before they got shut down, it was Dragon Age Inquisition or Dragon Age the Veilguard. They had like the deep dive exclusive access to talking to developers and getting content about the game and XYZ. So they recently went on Twitter and said, hey, the little tease, just kind of like they took like their last tweet and then like infographed it and like did it like they did like some edits and stuff, and then like it cuts to a date saying March 25th. So it's like, oh, like okay, fine, Gameinformer's coming back, but what does that mean? The next big game on the horizon that nobody knows about, or I mean they know about it but they don't know enough about, is GTA 6. So the theory is, oh, what if this like historic like pillar of game publishing and gaming news comes back, and their next issue, next exclusive scoop is about GTA 6 and possibly discuss a release date. So that's kind of like some of the copium, but
I don't think that's the case. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I understand where this is coming from. I just really feel like it's pulled out of thin air. This like, oh, but what if GTA? What if, you know, like, this seems like one of those fan rumors where it's like, oh, in the trailer there was like a 3, therefore it's coming out on, you know, March.
Oh, really?
I don't know. That's what I think.
Weren't you like that about? You were like, oh, the Sony trailer ends with "Thanks for persistence."
Oh, absolutely. And you were
no,
right to be like, you're coping. I still believe. But
for context, if you guys don't know, this guy literally had the whole like red string on a cork board about Bloodborne, and he was like, "There's a date on another trailer, and this and this." Actually, hold up, wait, time out, wait. Did we? This just reminds me actually, because I remember we were talking about this. Oh no, wait, did we miss it?
Miss what?
Bloodborne,
the 10-year anniversary, whatever.
When is it?
I have no idea.
What's the date? When did Bloodborne come out? March 24th. Oh my god, dude, that's like in 2 days. Hadi, bro, we're not.
It's happening.
It's not happening, dude. It's not. Like, it's funny how this went from a GTA 6 to a Bloodborne copium thing.
Yeah.
But listen, the 10-year anniversary of Bloodborne is going to be on March 24th. And this game released March 24th, 2015. If they were going to do something, it would be prior. But man, that's crazy. Dude, this is not even on the docket. This is just straight up. How do you feel, right? We're 2 days away. We're 2 days away from the 10-year anniversary. Do you think there's gonna be something coming out of left field for Bloodborne remaster?
You know what? For the bit, yes.
No, stop doing the bit. I want to hear you, man.
Man,
this is a therapy session. Lay down on the couch. Tell me what happened in,
when I was a child. Yeah. I'm telling you, it might happen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I'm at a point where it's like, if it doesn't happen, I won't be surprised. But I genuinely think I think that if you're gonna do it, I think this year will be the year to do it. Whether it happens in 2 days, I don't think so. I don't think there's any Sony announcement. There's nothing like coming up, and I don't think this is something that you just drop. I feel like it's something you do on like a show or like a showcase, you know. So I guess to answer your question, do I believe it's gonna?
Wait. What if? Okay. Oh, okay. So, because Gameinformer is saying that they're gonna release something, like they're coming back on the 25th. This is on the 24th. Do you think that could be the the big thing that they're like, oh, that's gonna be their issue. They come back and be like, bam, Bloodborne remake.
Ooh.
I mean, it'll be 1 day off, but like.
Question is, who owns Gameinformer?
I mean, it used to be GameStop.
It used to be GameStop, yeah, but now, let's see. I don't know. But if it's Sony who owns it, then
This guy,
I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't think that's. I'm gonna be consistent, and I say I don't think that the Gameinformer release. I think the Gameforge is coming back. I don't think it's gonna be like GTA 6 or Bloodborne, but that'd be cool if it was. I'm very happy to be proven wrong. But yeah, I don't think.
Bro, it's so crazy that we the amount of times we've talked about Bloodborne, this point would have just been gone had we not just goofed and gaffed right here, and it get hit by like a lightning bolt that I'm like, oh wait, it's almost been 10 years. So yeah, so we'll see. There may, I mean, here's the thing, bro. If you think about it, the 24th is going to be an odd night, so it's something special might happen.
That's true. I might do it for it. Bloodborne and Titanfall remake confirmed. It's gonna be a duo game release. They're gonna release it in a dual package just for me. They're saying this is just for Hadi. It's coming out. Then I'll be okay with it,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hope it happens. I don't think it will, though. I'll be honest with you, Chief. I'll be honest with you. I feel like it's a thing where you save it until like the next console or something that's like they need the sales, or rather they are trying to push for sales. So I feel like doing it right now doesn't really make sense, but we'll find out. I'm more than happy to be proven wrong. Please. But yeah. Oh well. That concludes the news. Do you have any closing remarks? Anything that you want to shout out, talk about?
I don't have anything at the moment.
Nice. Okay. I also do not have anything. So
give charity if you haven't.
Oh yes, give charity if you have not. You should, and it's good for you. So yeah. Other than that, everyone have a good one.
All right, take care.
Salams.